Beautiful sights and sounds of South Africa, complete with rugged coast and magnificent wildlife. Really is a spectacular setting for what already has been a spectacular World Cup. And golden sands of Port Elizabeth on the Eastern Cape is the venue today for a vital clash. St George's Park in Port Elizabeth, it's a mixture of the old and new, and it's the scene of this crucial Pool B match between the West Indies and New Zealand. For New Zealand, just 2 games into the competition now, and it's do or die. They've chosen at this stage not to go to Kenya, so they've forfeited points that were there for the taking. But for the West Indies, an amazing start, and now it's just a case of carrying on that nice little roll that they've already established. And they've got confidence too. Head-to-head, 22 the West Indies won compared to the New Zealand 10. And there's been a tie or no result on 3 occasions. The West Indies in the World Cup have won 3-1. And you just get the feeling when you look at the West Indies around town and their build-ups that they're a good, confident lot, and the West Indies have got the wood on New Zealand. There's a good crowd in. It's a working day here, of course, in Port Elizabeth, but that will grow throughout, and there's support for both. And New Zealand flags here will want to flutter high, because this is a must-win situation. Okay, New Zealand read the pitch wrong in Bloemfontein, and the West Indies got it right in Cape Town. What will we make of it today? Just confirming the lineup for the New Zealanders: Stephen Fleming, Nathan Astle, Scott Styris goes from 4 to 3 today. Chris Cairns listed at 4, with Lou Vincent at 5. He will not be keeping. Brendan McCullum will wear the gloves. Harris at 6. Jacob Oram, the bowling all-rounder, at 7. Vittori, the spinner, back in today, and that's not before time. Andre Adams and Shane Bond, the speedster, at number 11. So good batting all the way down to number 10. And the West Indies have been prolific. Look at all those left-handers at the top of the order: Gale, Hines, Lara and Chanderpaul, and the steadying influence of Carl Hooper and Sarwan. Ricardo Powell, who's the dasher, the basher. Ridley Jacobs, the left-handed keeper batsman, and Drakes, McLean and Dillon make up the order. That is a formidable West Indies side. They're a momentum side, and at the moment that momentum is going very much forward. The Beige Brigade are there from a New Zealand point of view, and they're desperate, as all Kiwis are, watching around the world, that they get this one right. Sneaking suspicion that they may have batted first anyway, and now that the humidity is obviously evident, but it's a very good day for batting, a good day for seeing. They call this place the Windy City, but there's none of that around. At the moment, it's going to be very hot out in the middle. South African flag, and then visitors from the Caribbean, who must be in great heart. Wonderful mood of their side after a wonderful victory over South Africa and Cape Town to set this tournament alight.
And there they are, just ready to come onto the field. As I say, good day to Ian Botham.
Tony, good day to you and everyone joining us around the world. Well, it's just changed a bit out there, coast, since the start of the day. There was quite a lot of cloud cover, and the pitch did look to me as if it had a little bit of moisture in it. I'm not saying it's wet, but it just looks at that colouring. But with this cloud burning off now and getting quite hot out there, I don't know how long the advantage will be with the bowlers. We shall see, but I'd be surprised if there's not just a little bit of encouragement there for the seamers early on. Kepler Vessels, the local man, was saying that he felt there would be something there early on. Don't really see it changing much over 100 overs, though.
The West Indies have gone with a player with experience, a fast bowler of South African conditions. Nixon McLean has come in for Pedro Collins. Nixon McLean has played the last 2 seasons here with KwaZulu-Natal. And of course, they've got Vasper Drakes who's had 6 seasons with Border and who bowled the decisive last over in the first match against South Africa. Now here's an interesting development. Daniel Vettori has been sent to open the batting. We've seen this before in previous World Cup competitions where they've sent in the so-called pinch hitter at the top of the order. Perhaps an inappropriate term for the game of cricket coming from baseball, but the effect is that Daniel Vettori has come out and he is a hitter of the ball. He's going out there trying to take advantage of the field restrictions in the first 15 overs, and he will open with Stephen Fleming. So 2 left-handers opening for New Zealand, as they will for the West Indies with Gale and Hines later on. But an interesting development.
Well, interesting, and a couple of points, isn't it? First of all, he's only ever opened once before and made a duck, and he didn't even start in the first game against Sri Lanka. So it's a bit of a gamble.
They've made a number of tactical changes. The New Zealanders just seem to have been shaken up somewhat by the defeat against Sri Lanka in the opening match. They used Vincent as the keeper in that game. Now they've changed the keeper and brought in McCallum. They brought in Vettori, whom they didn't play surprisingly in that opening match, a quality left-arm spinner, in place of Tuffy, who did so well for them in the recent series in New Zealand against India. And now they're opening the batting with Vettori as well. They've got batting all the way down the list, with Andre Adams, who is a good striker of the ball, coming in at number 10. Merv Dillon it will be who will start the match. Now we're on the way. Merv Dillon to Steve Fleming. First ball of the match. West Indies maintaining the balance of the team, which they've had now since the series in the Caribbean against New Zealand back in June. Won that 3-1 with just the 3 fast bowlers, 3 main bowlers. Then they depend on the bit bowlers, the off spin of Gale and Hooper, Ricardo Powell. There's the New Zealand order. Daniel Vettori opening the batting for only the 2nd time in one-day internationals. There to do a job will be Nixon McLean, who will start the bowling. Last played for the West Indies in a one-day international in St George's, Grenada, when South Africa were there in 2001. So here's McLean. And he doesn't start too well. That's an obvious wide down the leg side. A little bit of movement there. So maybe just a nervous start. Returning to the West Indies team. Didn't play the first match. The left armer Pedro Collins got the preference. There he is, 45 matches for him. In and out of the West Indies team, and out of it for the last 2 years because he was playing here in South Africa with KwaZulu-Natal. First runs. Guides it down towards 3rd man. Sawan is in that area. So New Zealand underway. And Daniel Vettori has got his highest score opening the batting for New Zealand. Didn't get a run in his first outing as an opener. Well bowled. Close enough, but not out. But well bowled.
Good delivery, this. It actually just comes back a bit. The New Zealand captain, Stephen Fleming. Don't think it's done enough, though, because the slope tends to push the ball towards the slips from the end that Merv Dillon's bowling. Park Drive end. It does come back a bit, but it's got to do a lot from there.
Flicked away for 4, first boundary of the innings. And the first delivery, Dillon has drifted on the legs, has been put away by Fleming. Good confident shot, 9 without loss after 3 overs.
Have a look at the table here in Pool B. South Africa played 2 games, won 1 and lost 1. They lost to the West Indies. Canada won 1. I don't think you read too much into that. The big game, of course, is for New Zealand today against the West Indies. They cannot really afford to lose another game. Only 3 of those sides go through to the Super Sixes.
Edged. Third man will come around and not get there. He's been sent wide because of the gully being put in, and Sarwan had no chance of getting there. It's a smallish boundary here at St George's Park, but an edge found. Boundary to Vittori.
Well, Chenapal's the man that's been brought in. He should have stopped that, I feel. He's dived over that. That, I think, should have been stopped. Mixon McLean will not be impressed.
Reached his 501 internationals. That's well cut. That's 4 more. So McLean being roughed up here. Edge from the previous delivery, so really you can't say that the bowler was at fault there, but just too short, too wide, and Vittori plays a fine shot.
I think this is a good shot. Credit to the batsman here, Daniel Vittori. Was saying previously looked like a number 9. There's nothing wrong with that. He's got on top of that and timed it very, very well. It's not that short. It's a good shot.
Warming up here now in Port Elizabeth as McLean starts over number 6. Chase here. Wavell Hines very quick over the outfield, but he won't pull it back. Ball just beats him. So another boundary to Fleming. Very similar to the first boundary he got off his legs.
I think it shows you how quick the outfield is. I don't think it's actually where he intended it, Stephen Fleming. I think it's a thick inside edge. I think he's actually looking at this more through mid-on. Thickish inside edge. It races away down the slope that we were talking about. But just have a look at this. Could have been serious problems. Well, apart from the damage to the ball, you could have broken your ankle. Not the most agile bit of fielding I've seen.
That'll be 4 more, I think, on this outfield. He's driven away, so McLean proving expensive here. 2 boundaries in the last over, now 2 off his first 2 balls here.
Better shot. This is certainly where he intended it. Fleming. First one I thought was an inside edge, but this, and it's not a half volley. He's hit that on the up, on the rise. Super clean. Some work to do. Some just taken to him.
It's a single this time. A nice confident drive from Fleming. McLean just having his problems here. Nervous start. We saw that from Pedro Collins, whom he's replaced. Collins had 21 taken off his first 3 overs against South Africa in Cape Town. McLean now halfway through his 3rd over. 20 have gone off him. Bad bumps. And 4 leg buys. But this is an expensive over. 13 off the over, 3 boundaries, 2 off the bat, 1 off the pad, 31 without loss.
Just about the worst place for the keeper. Jacobs bouncing about 2 feet or so in front of him. You're guessing a bit then. Just thankful you don't wear it.
Oh, beautifully timed from Fleming. He rocks onto the back foot, and that's gone.
Well, this pitch is not the quickest pitch in the world, and anything short of a length, batsmen like Stephen Fleming will be able to pull them quite comfortably. That was well played. You can see the height that the ball got to as well. Didn't bounce very high. Made the shot even easier. Just about waist high, or perhaps even a fraction below the height of the waist. Some old uniforms there, Smithy.
Yeah, they are old ones, Mikey. It's been about 20 years and 20 kilos since I got inside one, I can tell you. And again, this time he may have got all of this. In fact, it's gone well over. A big over for the Kiwis. And now Dylan has problems.
Well, Smithy, you were saying that it worked from one end. Seems to be working from both ends now. This is a very good shot. That was a deliberate short ball. He really banged it in, Mervyn Dillon. Didn't bounce very high either. That was a lot shorter, but look at the height here. Well below the height of the shoulder. No problems.
Chance and gone. Good reply from Dylan. It may have just held up a wee bit on the surface. He might have held it back, but in the end, it was just a little too clever for the New Zealand captain.
That's a welcome break for the West Indies. It was proving very costly. 10 runs from the over so far, but when you get a wicket like Stephen Fleming, that 10 runs doesn't seem that much anymore. Perhaps the ball just held its own. It seemed to be going towards a slip cord, and you can see Stephen Fleming knew something had gone desperately wrong there. Mervyn Dillon took the catch. It's 42 for 1.
New Zealand's most prolific one-day batsman is Nathan Astle. He usually opens the batting. He's batting at 3 today. He's at the non-striker's end. But his World Cup form has been poor. This is his 3rd event, and he hasn't got great returns at all. Good call from Daniel Vettori. Nice placement. He's doing his job. Michael, I'm just looking at the way this ball pitched. It was seam up when it left the hand, and it may have just held it up a wee bit.
Perhaps the seam just dug into the surface a bit, and that perhaps slowed it down. You can see the seam, very upright seam. Stephen Fleming looking to play against slightly the movement of the ball. It's pushing towards the slip cord, and while he's trying to play towards the onside. Quick reaction there from Mervyn Dillon. Must be very pleased about that after conceding 10 runs off 2 deliveries earlier on.
And Astle is underway. He'll be pleased about that. Duck in the first game. It's 44 for 1 after 8.
You wonder why someone like Nathan Astle, who is such a good player, just hasn't had good World Cups. He's too good a player to have failed so many times.
Well, I know it's baffling for him. He's a big match player, and so much of his form is relied upon the New Zealanders, and it's something that is in the back of his mind. He started this World Cup campaign in Ahmedabad, the very first game, got 100, and it's been absolute crumbs ever since. So he's hoping big time this time around, Michael.
Nathan Astle looking for big runs. If I just take my commentator's hat off for a minute there, Smithy, put my West Indies hat on. Let's hope it's from the next game onwards.
Yeah, well, the next game might be too late for the New Zealanders if they don't win this one, and that's why there's an air of real expectancy and urgency about this performance and this start. Timed just behind square, raced off the bat, line just a little astray, and 50 up for New Zealand.
And in good time, just the 10th over. Lost Stephen Fleming. Only too happy about that, but 51 runs on the board in the 10th over. That's okay. Was slightly offline there, Nixon McLean. I think it was the length more than the line that really cost him, though. If it was a bit fuller on that line, wouldn't have been able to play that shot.
Gone again, and this one over the top of mid-off. 1 bounce, 2 bounces into the fence. A big finish to that over. It's 55 for 1. Hold him. There's no humming anymore. There's celebration in the West Indies camp. The angle has done the trick. And a very good start by Drakes. Good change by Hooper.
And good thinking by Vasbert Drakes. As I said, this man believes in his ability. He knows exactly what he's all about. Immediately round the wicket, immediately pushing the ball into the left-hander, giving him absolutely no room to play the ball through that offside. And the gap between bat and pad found. 58 for 2. Scott Styris comes in. Had a very good opening match in this World Cup. Best score of 141. That was the opening game. He needs something like that again. But this is Daniel Vettori's dismissal. Right through the gap, just hitting the top of the stumps. And what a delivery. this experiment with Vittori. Don't think you could say it was successful. Here's Mervyn Dillon. Not a bad delivery. Got a change in the commentary box. Tony Koja is with Kepler Vessels.
That's a fine shot. That's a magnificent shot by Cyrus. Stood up straight, just had the width and the shortness of length to put it away. Batsman in form.
Vasper Drake's just short and wide. Cyrus freeing up the arms. That's the best shot he's played so far in this innings. He's been a little bit out of sorts at the start, much like he was in Bloemfontein against Sri Lanka, but once he got going, he played superbly. Just a look at Manhattan. Started off pretty well, and Stephen Fleming hit some very good shots, but then a couple of wickets slowed things down a bit.
Gone, taken at backward point. Drake's with Ricardo Powell pulling that catch down, so Cyrus goes, and the West Indies have got their third wicket in the 16th over, and Vasper Drakes takes his second.
Slow delivery. Vasper Drake's just rolling his fingers across the seam. Cyrus was never really in line. Played away from the body, got the outside edge, and Powell taking a comfortable catch at backward point. And disappointment for Cyrus and for New Zealand. 66 for 3.
So the West Indies have just taken the advantage here. Here's Hines now. And it brings the new batsman, Chris Cairns, the dangerous Chris Cairns, into the strike after his first delivery. With Cyrus out to the last ball of the previous over from Drakes. Absolutely crucial partnership between these two. Big man Chris Cairns, outstanding cricketer, and capable of wresting the initiative from anyone.
Look at the wicket. Oh, that was a boundary before that. That was an excellent drive off the back foot. Hit that superbly.
That's well put away, fractionally short. He is just medium pace, and Cairns in position very quickly off the mark with a boundary.
Kyle Hooper will be better off bringing fine leg up and having square leg back on the boundary, because the wicket is slow. Noel Hines bowls pretty slowly, so he is allowed after the 15 overs just to have 4 men in the circle, and he's done exactly that now. Moves square leg back, which is a good decision.
Now there it is. That is a magnificent blow. Fractionally short and hammered away, just accentuating the point we have been making and the statistics have been making on the screen. Tremendous blow. Just come in. Danger.
Shot of the day so far. A little bit short, but not that short. This Cairns rocks onto the back foot, and he hits it absolutely superbly over square leg.
It's got the crowd buzzing. Oh! Hooper not being able to get the hands there to it, wide of his right. Now how significant will that be? Just the tips of the fingers, looking for the drive. Good delivery from Drakes. He knows Cairns is after him.
Kyle Hooper is a sensational catcher in the slips. That was a thick outside edge. The ball went quickly. The problem is the staggered slip cordon. Kyle Hooper is at a wide first slip, then he's got sort of a third slip in position in Chris Gale, and that went really where a regulation second slip would have normally been.
Yeah, will he cut this off? He will. It's a good effort. Mervyn Dillon's done very well. Big man. Great to see commitment like that.
Very close to the ropes when he went down there as well, Mervyn Dillon. Slipping. Could almost have touched the rope with that right boot of his when he went down. Well done. Kept his eyes on the ball and the ropes.
This time it's passed, and it'll be 4. Lovely placement. So on is quick, but not that quick.
Could this be the day, Smithy? Nathan Astle is going well. That was well placed. Had to get it to the left of backward point. Ricardo Powell is very good in that position, and enough far to the right of third man. Did exactly that. Not too bad though if they can keep this partnership going, Kearns and Astle. This is a very important partnership. Keep it going at just about 4 runs on over for another 10 overs or so.
Over the top for 4. He can't defend that. That's unlucky.
That's the nature of this one-day game. As Ian Smith said, you cannot defend those. Bit of good luck, bit of good fortune, but fortune favors the brave.
He did almost everything right there, Drakes, because he got that line in nice and tight, and when it hit the bat, hit a long way up the blade in terms of the edge. $100 up for New Zealand. The 22nd over. .58 deliveries for the first 50, and then of course a couple of wickets, and scoring rate generally slows down to 72 for the second. That's a good shot. That's beautifully placed. A little bit of width. And Astor seized the opportunity to end the over in style. 26 gone, 117 for 3. Nice and straight. Dive can't do it. And that races into the fence for 4. And Naresh Sawan did his best. Placement, very good.
Very good indeed. Just on the onside of the wickets from Naresh Sawan at mid-on. Just a little bit wide. Looking more for the wristed shot than the straight drive down the ground. And it's a quick outfield.
Just cruising along. New Zealand, no urgency. Quite happy to pick up around about 5 or 6 runs and over. The bonus for boundary here and there. It's a period of the game, I have to say, that I think the authorities need to just have a look at. I just think that if you want people to come to one-day games, and you do get good crowds, then I think you've got to try and get the entertainment value up a bit. I think one of the ways of doing that is to stagger your fielding restrictions. There's a shout, big shout. Rudy Kurtzen nods his head. He's happy with that. I'm not sure that Nathan Astle is, but a confident appeal.
Shake of the head by Nathan Astle. He clearly doesn't think he hit it. Wavell Hines, he's wrapped. Coming on his part-time bowler. He's done a good job so far. It's into his 8th over. He's just conceded 26 runs, and now he's picked up a wicket. Oh, he's missed it.
Well, I have to say that that looked to be a bit of fresh air between the ball and the bat. Rudy Kurtzen's the man that makes the decision. Nathan Astle is the man that's got to accept it. He's gone for 46. It's 130 for 4. Lou Vincent, the new batsman for New Zealand. And coming in at quite a crucial time. Not a wicket that I think Nathan Astle will want to see again, or see the replay of. Wavell Hines, though, surprise package. He's picked the wicket up. That would have been a little fortuitous in picking it up. Now, Kepler, you're sat with me. Do you think he hits this?
I didn't think so, and I still don't. Nathan Astle, pretty unlucky. Partnership with Chris Cairns was just taking shape, so New Zealand didn't need that.
That's quick running. We both thought when he turned and set off there he was in trouble. We just watched the bowler take the bails off in the end. Singles previously. He's well in. Well in. For Chris Cairns, so that broke that sequence. Now this could be out. Merv Dillon takes the catch. Chris Cairns, I think, was it caught in two minds? Should I hit it or shouldn't I? At the end, he didn't go through with the shot. It was half-hearted, and he's paid the price, and they're delighted, the West Indies. A massive wicket for them at a crucial time. Chris Cairns has gone. Wavell Hines strikes again.
Wavell Hines doing the damage. First it was Nathan Astle, and now it's Chris Cairns, the real danger man. Didn't hit that as well as he would have liked. Mervyn Dillon coming around from deep mid-off, taking a good catch. And New Zealand in the pound seats now.
Well, I think he'd be wishing he had gone through with it. He didn't. He's gone for 37, 141 for 5. Chris Harris, a veteran of New Zealand cricket, seems to have been around for years and years and years. Playing in his 4th World Cup. The reason he's at the crease, well, I think Chris Cairns would be wishing in the dressing room that he went through with this. He thought about the shot, and I don't think he was totally committed to it in the end. If he had been, he would have probably cleared the grandstand. And he's annoyed. Yeah, he's done all the hard work. Frustration. Carl Hooper, he'll be delighted, his team will be. 2 big wickets in the last few overs. One a little lucky to get that of Nathan Astle, the judge caught behind, but there was no doubt. And the Dillon wicket, well caught by him patrolling that boundary. Dangerous. Chris Cairns gone. There's the bonus, isn't it? Kepler, 9 overs, 2 for 33.
Harris gets away. Both Vincent and Harris run pretty well between the wickets. They need to establish a partnership to have a launching pad at the end. And there's a man we've been talking about. What a great job he's done for his captain today.
Well, it's a long run there. Rare misunderstanding. The run's been good from New Zealand. Extremely positive. But, that was one of the easiest ones. Up for grabs all day. Now this will be runs. Outside edge. And this will race away. No one in the slip position. It's a very good shot in one-day cricket. Frustration for the fielding side and the bowler. Well, if you don't have a slip there, why would you at this stage?
First boundary for Vincent. He tried to play that in the onside, just turned the face of the bat, came off the leading edge. Stroke of fortune for him.
Wavell Hines then, 1 over to go. And that'll be a massive bonus, and something perhaps that wasn't expected from the West Indies, but he's certainly done his captain, his team proud. 9 overs, no maidens, 2 for 33. It's also a career best for him, previous best of 1 for 6. Just to finish it off well now. New batsman. So they only get one there. Well, they should only get one. They do only get one. Picked up 2 wickets. Lucky with the first. There's a big shout, and Rudy Kurtzen felt there was an edge. Well, there certainly would in this one, but not enough for Chris Cairns. There's another wicket. Abel Hines picks up his third, and what a good catch. Carl Hooper took a good catch there. It's to Sean Pollock down in the vineyard, Newlands rather. Well, how's this for a catch? Hit on the up and hard.
Such a good fielder, Carl Hooper. He's got a brilliant pair of hands. That delivery was wide. It gave Vincent enough room, but it wasn't quite full enough to drive. He didn't get over the top of it, but he hit it pretty well, and Carl Hooper pounces that extra cover. Fine catch.
Abel Hines, there's no stopping him. Vincent has gone. A fine catch by Carl Hooper. Short extra cover. He's gone for 9, and New Zealand in a bit of trouble. 147 for 6. Brendan McCullum comes to the wicket. Just 15 matches, not a great deal of experience there. Average of just over 12.5 runs per innings. Keep wicket as well. In probably the expense of Craig McMillan. Well, let's see. A lot of experience. Has been left out of the side. This young man's come in. Mr. McLean has got 5 overs left. It wasn't the best of spells early on, but he is a proven campaigner. He's bowled well and bowled a lot of overs in this part of the world. So there's an option. We have Dylan, he's got 3 overs. As for Drakes, he picked up 2 wickets. I'd certainly bring one of those guys back and looking to attack. Oh, this could be tight. I think he's got there in the end. But, oh, that would look so tight. Well, it brings 150 up. We need about another 70 runs, I think, to give themselves a realistic chance. Have a look at this. Now, the direct hit. It might just have made it anyway, but sparing stuff.
Now, will he find the gap? He does. Wasn't much of a gap, it was short, and McCullum swung around it. And that's a welcome boundary for New Zealand. 164 for 6. First sighting in South Africa, Marlon Samuels. Now here's a talent. A lot of confusion and controversy over his appearance here. Here's McLean comes back now. Opportunity for a run out. Let it go, McLean, let it go. He's in front of the stumps. The throw came to the stumps at the far end. It's going to be backed up. Let it go.
Crazy cricket all round here. I mean, the batsman never ever communicated here. This is just dumb batting, dumb running. Harris, with all his experience, was next to McCullum when he started to run. McCullum at no stage had entered into the thought of running. He was so slow out of the blocks, and what was McLean doing there? What was he doing?
Been around a long time, Nixon McLean. Who knows, that ball might have hit the stumps. Time for some desperate stuff now from the New Zealanders. West Indies just have to keep their cool.
You know, if you're at a ground, Tony, where it's absolutely chocker and the atmosphere is electric and the noise is fantastic, you can understand the mix-up and calling from time to time, and then you rely on eyesight and hand gestures to get yourself through. But that's not the case here. There's no reason. This ground is nowhere near packed. There's a nice atmosphere, but it's not deafening. So the communication and the running between the wickets it's quite bizarre.
Marlon Samuels on as substitute. Was in the original 15 for the tournament, then was withdrawn from the selectors by the selectors because of some misunderstanding of the doctor's report on his knee. Then he was sent to New York for further evaluation. Those reports, which didn't seem to differ all that significantly, but differed to an extent, I suppose, from the original report. And they decided, yes, they would send him. In the meantime, they'd replaced him with Ryan Hines, a left-handed all-rounder from Barbados. Hines was here when they made the decision, so they then had to apply to the ICC's technical committee for him to be reinstated, for Hines to be withdrawn. Hines went back home. He crossed in midway on the Atlantic, I think. And now here he is. But had an outstanding tour of India and Bangladesh. Got 100 in the final test match, the only test match he played there. Got a magnificent 108, not out of 70-odd deliveries in the decisive final match that won the West Indies the one-day series against India 4-3. And a real talent, just a richly gifted batsman. In the meantime, here's McLean to Harris. Very fine indeed, and goes. So McLean has come back and has proved expensive. 9 off the over, 177 for 6, 10 overs remain. Bowled him all over the shop. Typical Chris Gayle delivery. We saw it the other evening against Mark Boucher, and now Chris Gayle firing that Yorker in, and Chris Harris goes. It's 188 for 7. The West Indies continue to keep a tight grip on things, but a typical Chris Gayle delivery. Here it is, played right over the top of it, down into leg stump. Beautifully bowled. So Harris goes, a 7th wicket lost by New Zealand. Hugs, squeezes, but not kisses for Gayle. 19 for Harris, 188 for 7. New batsman is Andre Adams. Good striker of the ball, young all-rounder with West Indian roots. Both his mother and father, West Indian born. Faces Gayle. Chris Harris being done by Chris Gayle. Superb bowling by the tall off spinner. The reason why they use him over the last few overs is because he bowls the ball right up. Iron balls, they call it. And a change in commentators now to carry through until the end. Ian Botham and Michael Holding.
Thanks, Tony. A lot of work these New Zealand tailors required here to just put something respectable on the respectable score, give the bowlers something to bowl at. Somewhere around 225, 230. They can get it. They need to have the sensible batting. Wicket in the over, 44 gone, 189 for 7. Just 6 overs to go. Bond left. The last wicket to go was that of Chris Harris. Yorked by Chris Gayle. Leg stump, trying to get the ball through the mid-wicket area. Plays over the top of it. Leg stump. Carl Hooper. I actually think it's quite a good tactic here, Mikey, to put the 2 spinners on at the end here against the tail end. You're right, you might get one or might be a boundary here or there, but I do think they find it harder to get away when they've got to put bat on the ball rather than just use the pace on the ball.
Yes, I think the lower order batsmen prefer to have the quicker bowlers, and then they just use the pace of the bowler to guide the ball into different areas. or even when they do just have a swing at the ball, the pace of the ball already, even if it takes a thick outside edge, it will go flying off down the third man, and they'll possibly pick up boundaries. At least against the slower bowlers, they have to themselves put the pace on the ball. They have to play the proper shots to get the boundaries. At the moment, just looking to pick up singles, just pushing the ball around. They are 7 wickets down, and they want to make sure they bat all 50 overs. Hasn't been a very good batting performance so far, but no point in wasting overs.
Yeah, fit it, Paul, fit it.
They're doing all right at the moment. It's 4 off 4. If they can keep this up, they'll get somewhere around about 215, 220. Not sure that that's going to be enough. Sun baking down on this wicket.
My next ball.
Look for 2 here. Coming back for it. I'm going to make it.
Come on, man.
It's good running. I'm not sure the fielding was the best. 2 men out there. You'd have thought that they could prevent the 2 quick outfield.
I think Ricky Jacobs signalled immediately that he wasn't very impressed with that throw or the bit of fielding.
Stop.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're coming up to the end of his 9th over. 41 runs coming from his bowling.
Good over. 7 runs from it. 196 for 7. A lot of experience in one-day cricket. Not so much at international level, but certainly in South Africa, where he's played for many years, and of course in England. Oh, those 2 there. He was at the 200. 201 now for 7. Applause. A few supporters from New Zealand and West Indies here.
A few more New Zealanders than West Indians, of course, but I think the balance might tilt a bit later on in the tournament.
Fielders on the edge of the circle now at this stage. Chris Gale, so anything pushed them should be a single. Very difficult for the fielders to stop that from happening. In fact, probably not expected to, in all honesty. Now he's smashed this, and he's got hold of one. Oh, Andre Adams has been trying hard enough. He has got a middle of the bat.
Finally got hold of one. Again, Chris Gayle looking to get right up in that block hole. Right into the block hole, but not quite making it, and that's the problem.
Well, this is high, but it should be taken. It's not. Oh, Samuels. Well, very casual with that. Very casual. Too casual?
Definitely, much too casual. Perhaps thought the ball would have carried a lot further than it did. And he was just jogging in instead of coming in a bit quicker, make sure that he got right under the flight of the ball. And you have to dive forward. Not ideal.
Should have been caught. 2 more to the total. Good over this. 11 runs off it so far. Should only be 1. So 12 from the over. 2 to go. 216 for 7. Some might say they were lucky to get penalised only 1 over. 2 overs to go. That's for Drake's. Long's last over. No ball, not the perfect start. No wrong with the delivery. Just forgot about that left boot. Keep it behind the line.
West Indies have been doing very well as far as no balls and wides are concerned in the 2 games that they have played. The first one against South Africa, they did very well, not many wides or no balls. They were going well in this innings as well. Pressure is on now though. It's the last couple of overs, don't want to be giving away too many runs.
the one. I'm not sure if I'd have the... I suppose you've got to make a decision, haven't you, whether you put your mid-off or you have your fine leg up. I just think when Drake's bowling as straight as he does, Mikey, wouldn't it make sense to have the man at mid-off back? He's not going to stop the one if the batsman's running at him and hitting the ball, but he might well stop a boundary back as we speak. Fine leg has come up, mid-off has gone back. Should be just one. Straight to Brian Lara.
They've been having different fields to go for the different batsmen, McCullum and Andre Adams. McCullum, they've had the mid-off up. Again, he's going to be up now. His fine leg goes back. I think I would have him back for both, Beefy. And I think that is what Vasper Drakes might be suggesting to his captain now.
Well, if he is, he's got to bring someone in. I presume that'll be the fine leg. Well, captain seems to think, no, we'll keep the fine leg down there. So, OK, let's see who's right. Didn't bounce a great deal, that, and kept lower than Cullen was expecting.
Well, the West Indies will be hoping that this is not indicative of what's to come.
Yeah. Looking good, looking. Yeah.
He wants the two. This is going to be tight. I think he's made it, though. Daryl Hayes is going to have a look, but I reckon he's home. And if he is, that's impressive running.
I think McCullum definitely decided from he played the shot that he was coming back. It wasn't a matter of getting to the other end, looking and then deciding if it was on or not. He made up his mind from he took off the first time round. And I think I agree with you there, Beefy. I think he has made it.
And here he comes. Well, that's excellent running. That really is top-class running. I don't think I'd be enjoying running with him, Mikey. Too quick.
Wasn't a bad throw either. It was pretty close, the throw to the stumps. Well, that was excellent running.
One ball to go then, penultimate over. 222 for 7. They've done well, New Zealand. Dragged this back. They were in all kinds of trouble. They lost Nathan Astle and Chris Cairns in quick succession. Nathan Astle, you have to say, unlucky with his decision. Chris Cairns will be disappointed with his dismissal. Another no ball. That'll be disappointing as well for the bowler. So, he has to bowl one more.
Don't need those at this stage of the innings. That now makes it an 8-ball over.
Done pretty well though, Mikey. In the context of the innings, only 6 extra deliveries, so that's wides and no balls. It's not bad discipline, that.
And as I was saying earlier on, they did very well against South Africa in that sphere as well. They have been tightening up in that regard, that's for sure.
Ball well played. Good over. 1 over left to go. 9 from the penultimate. 225 for 7. Last over then. Here in Port Elizabeth. Beautiful day. Lovely conditions for the players. A little breeze just to cool you down. Scale then. He has the responsibility. Well, he's going to get away with that, and he's lucky to get away with it. Has to be said. It could have gone anywhere, Mikey.
Andre Adams is very disappointed that he only got a single there. Quick chat. Not too sure what they could be talking about here, Beef. It's everything now.
No, so there's no rush. We've got 4 or 5 minutes in the banks. We'll just enjoy it. No problem. Over 8's been good for the West Indies. We'll stay out here and enjoy it. No, hasn't got hold of it, but he'll just get a single. Not sure that full tosses the balls that Scale wants to be bowling at this stage. He's got away with 2 now.
Not high full tosses anyway. perhaps low full tosses, looking for that Yorker.
Well, it's another full toss, and I think he's paid the price, and he has, all the way. Well, Mikey, he got away with it twice, and it wasn't going to be three. I wonder who he supports.
There's a different line on this occasion. Again, high full toss, easily getting under that, and it has gone all the way. Hitting straight on this occasion. Previous occasions they were hitting across the line, much easier hitting straight.
Well, it's a full toss. He hasn't got this. One's high in the bat. They're coming back for two. And I think if the ball had hit the stumps at either end, would have been a run out. It wasn't to be. So two more to the total. 235 for 7. 2 balls to go.
They'll be running for everything. Once it doesn't get to the boundary, look at McCullum. Look how quickly he got to the other end. And although he's running that quickly, he would have been out.
Well, he's gone outside the off stump, and he'll get away with it, just. But this is a great final over for New Zealand. They'll be looking at that total and thinking they've got a real chance. 1 ball to go. Here we go. Well, this one is going to go for 4. That's through the gap. And that brings up the 50 partnership, 53 from just 43 balls. And the New Zealand tail has well and truly wagged. McCullum did a very, very good job. Brought into the side. And Brendan McCullum, just 21. Picks up 36 from 53 balls. And Andre Adams, he picks up 35 from just 24 deliveries. 1 4 and 2 6s. They have now, Mikey, you have to say, the health of these two lads, giving themselves a real chance with the ball.
Certainly have 16 runs off that last over. Very big over that for New Zealand. You will find things like that happening though on this stage of the innings when you have the non-specialist bowlers bowling. Not that Carl Hooper had a choice, but that's just something that the West Indies team will have to live with. They'll have to know how to deal with that, and just a matter now of the batsmen getting whatever is set them. Very strong batting lineup, 241 or 50 overs. Suppose at the end of the day New Zealand will say that they were happy with that, considering the start that they got, but I would think that before the innings started they would have been hoping for a bit more. Nathan Astle 46, and then the last pair. Chris Cairns of course got a good 37, but when New Zealand were hoping that those two would have carried on, both of them got dismissed pretty quickly. Then McCullum and Adams, very good partnership between those two.
Good effort then from New Zealand. Bowling hero for the West Indies was Wavell Hines, and didn't he do well? 1 for 30 for Dillon's bowl well at the start. Next to McLean, a little expensive. 1 for 38. Aston Drakes 2 for 49. Carl Hooper none for 42. Chris Gale 1 for 37. And the hero, Wavell Hines, 3 for 35. The target, they need 242 runs to win then, the West Indies. They have 50 overs available, and they require 4.84 runs per over.
4 left-handers at the top of the order. That's the way they batted in the first game at any rate. Brian Lara coming at 3, Chandra Paul at 4. I doubt whether that will change. I don't think you really want to be changing a successful batting order.
Shane Bond to Chris Gale. And this movement away from the left-handers. So Bond will do that. That's his stock and trade delivery. It angles back into the right-handers and away to the slip cordons with the left-handers on strike. Has made a real statement very quickly in world cricket. As a player of the series in Australia when South Africa, Australia and New Zealand were involved just over a year ago. Only been around the scene for that long. 20 matches but 34 wickets. He's a genuine striker and quite quick.
I think it's very important that you have genuine strike bowlers in your attack, even in these one-day games, even if sometimes they prove to be just a touch expensive. But wickets they are invaluable. You see how important it was for Mervyn Dillon to get rid of Stephen Fleming, although he had already gone for 10 runs in the over. Wickets are always so important.
Just opens Chris Gale up a little bit there. 143.8, so settling into his work quite nicely. Jacob Oram, he may take the new ball along with Shane Bond. He's a tall lad, 6'6". But what New Zealand need here is to try and strangle the West Indies early on. They need early wickets so they can't get away to a flyer in the first 15 overs, and they can do that. They can use their slower bowlers in the middle of the innings to really try and put the brakes on the stroke makers. And that may have hurt. The old inside thigh.
See a lot of batsmen batting with pads on both legs. Obviously the lead leg, the right leg, you'll have a thigh pad on that, but sometimes you'll see the back leg having a thigh pad as well. Nothing there for Chris Gale. That would have hurt a bit.
2 slips and a gully. A nice line from Shane Bond initially. He's threatening, he's committing Gale to play.
Committing him to the back foot as well, Smithy. Chris Gale is always quite eager to get onto that front foot. It's a very good drive of the ball. But at this pace, you're not going to be pushing that front foot, in his case his right leg, too far down the pitch too quickly.
Good start, the maiden, as the first over for the West Indies was. The target, 242.
Good pace, very good pace. And if you have the pace and can get the ball in the right areas often enough, you will get the job done.
So, beautiful day here. Temperatures up to around 28 degrees, so quite pleasant. Hardly any breeze in this, the city they term the windy one, being coastal. Brian Lara listed to come at 3. Chandapal, Carl Hooper, Ramnawesh Sawan and Ricardo Powell. So if they need an injection of power, he will provide it. And Ridley Jacobs, so that is a strong batting lineup. Andre Adams with the new ball with Bond. He'll tend more to perhaps move the ball back into the left-handers. So quite a good combination this, but nowhere near the same pace as Bond.
If he can keep it on a nice tidy line and length, he could do a good job here, Andre Adams. The mere fact that Bond is that quick, the other batsmen might think, let us try and get at Adams. And if he keeps it on a nice tidy line and length, doesn't bowl too short, because at his pace he certainly doesn't want to be bowling too short, just might influence a wrong stroke from Hines or Chris Gale.
New Zealand have excellent fielders square of the wicket. Chris Harris on the offside, Lou Vincent, who is dynamite on the onside. Miscued through extra cover. It was destined to go, I think, around wide mid-wicket. So a shaky start there for Wavell Hines, but he's underway.
Nowhere near where he was expecting it to go, Wavell Hines. It was short. He was looking to pull that through the mid-wicket region. Perhaps it got onto him a bit quicker than he expected. Skidded on.
To jump. That's a nice run. Or is it? That's a brilliant piece of work from Shane Bond and his follow through. Daryl here is not even bothering to come upstairs for a second opinion. That's good cricket all around, because it wasn't a bad piece of bowling either.
Wavell Hines did well to just drop that down by his toes. Well, it was Chris Gale who really called him through. He was the initiator of this run, got in quite comfortably. Good work by Shane Bond, though. 6'6", fast bowler. You don't really think of a 6'6" man being that athletic, that nimble.
Nice shot. First one of authority from the West Indies. Too quick for Astle.
Long time to get off the mark, Chris Gale. But he does drive very well. Very good drive of the ball. Found the gap beautifully there. Well timed.
Here's the pull shot. Too good. He got that one right where he wanted.
Well, he has had enough practice at it. Not too sure if Andre Adams thinks that he's quick enough to be getting frontline batsmen out with bouncers. Sure, you want to surprise them with a short ball every now and again, but he had already bowled about 3 of them that Wavell Hines mistimed. Not on this occasion.
Through again. That's a classic cover drive. There's a tall man and just eases into that shot.
I think he's much better off just bowling short of a length to Chris Gale. Yorkers are fine to Wavell Hines, but if you don't get them quite right to Chris Gale, they'll go away. He's a very good driver. He made that look very easy.
.21 for none, 7 gone. Here's Adams. And the charge, and 4. Well, Chris Cairns is at mid-on. It was just a yard or 2 to his left, but so well struck, no danger.
It was well struck, but I don't think it was perfectly struck. Gale perhaps just getting that on the inner half of the bat. But he's a powerful man. Can see it almost floated towards the mid-on region, but just wide enough.
Don't worry about that one. That is belted over the top of point. At a great rate of knots. The West Indies are cutting loose.
If you're going to be catching these, you've got to catch very well. Has to be careful, Andre Adams. He doesn't really want to be concentrating on just pace. He needs to get the ball in the right areas. Another concession to the batsmen, another slip departs.
Slower ball, same result. Wonderful batting. Crisp striking.
Just got 2 against South Africa, Chris Gale. As I said, he'll be looking to atone. Moves on to 22 from 24. Slow delivery. You can see it just floating out of the hands. Picked it up quite quickly though, Chris Gale.
Gone. Wicket. Gale going for the cut. Stephen Fleming takes the catch. Big wicket for Adams, and certainly a little bit of a revenge for him after being clobbered in the previous over.
Well, this could easily have gone for 4, and that just shows you how this game is all about fractions of inches. This time it takes the top edge. Steve Fleming, no mistake with the catch. Andre Adams picks up the wicket. It looked like it had 4 all over it. He got the wicket. Gale has gone for 22. It's 34 for 1.
Brian Lara comes in now with 100 under his belt in the opening match of the World Cup against South Africa in Cape Town on Sunday. Timely wicket for New Zealand in the 10th over, just when Gale looked as if he was going to explode. And Adams has got it. Let's give him a boost.
Just have another look at the reason that Brian Lara is there. It's there to hit. It's wide of the off stump. Somehow he'll feel unlucky. It's done well to find the one slip there, in all honesty, but a bonus for New Zealand. Now they've got to fill the boots and build on that.
Beautifully played off the legs. Won't go all the way. Vincent is very quick over ground. They should come for a third. They will. Gone! He's gone! Lara's run out going for a third. New Zealanders are jumping. It's Chris Cairns who's throwing him out. What a blow! Lara coming for the third. And the New Zealanders feel that they have the key wicket, which they do.
Well, why on earth would you want to take the risk like this? He's not even close. He's not even in the picture. Now, where is he? Now, the fielder could have caught that if it had been thrown to him and run him out by 1.5 yards, 2 yards. Well, I wonder how the calling went. It doesn't really matter. Anyone's calling now are the New Zealanders, and that's with joy. Lara's run out for 2. It's 36 for 2.
Shivnarayan Chandapol comes in to replace Brian Lara. The ground is abuzz here at St George's Park with the premier West Indies batsman gone.
Well, he's worked it through the mid-wicket area. Lou Vincent's taken off to it very quickly. Now, there should be a comfortable 3 here, but for some reason they relay the ball in. Lou Vincent tells him which end. Well, he's delighted, Lou Vincent. He's did all the work there. He wasn't the man that ran Brian Lara out, though. Brian Lara, oh, he knows, doesn't he?
I think Lou Vincent was saying throw the ball to the other end. Looking at his direction, Cairns had a ping at the stumps. He had to hit the stumps. Although he might have gone to the bowler as well, who, with Lara that far out, but he went for the stumps with a hard throw. Oof. Bond now to Chandapol. And that's given the New Zealanders a tremendous burst of energy. The wicket of Gale and the wicket of Lara very quickly after one after the other. There it is.
Chris Cairns has stayed deliberately. He knows he can't beat Lou Vincent the ball. Lou Vincent gets it to Chris Cairns, and I think you're right. He's telling him to go and throw him, but if he'd have thrown it over the top, I think it'd have been run out. But a direct hit, no doubt, not even in the frame. They're celebrating, and why wouldn't they? I think they enjoyed that.
A fair crowd is built up now, and they're buzzing. Adams now. Crack through the offside for 4. Wavell Hines standing up straight, very strong through the offside.
It's very much his own way of playing this shot, Wavell Hines. It's hardly textbook. Just seems legs and arms going all over the place, but he does hit it well through there. Legs crossing over after he's played. It's very unusual, his own style. Actually, at the point of execution of the shot, it's good. It's a lot of movement afterwards.
Gone. Hines goes. Good catch by Starris in there. Hauled it down over his head. Hines trying to clear him. West Indies have lost 3 wickets in very quick succession. They're 42 for 3. The pressure ready on now. And New Zealand jumping for joy.
We have to say that the West Indies have rather given away these wickets, and this is another one. Man's there for the drive. The ball's pitched up. It's straight at him, hard. Starris takes the catch, though. Andre Adams gets the wicket. Wavell Hines has gone for 14. The West Indies now in all kinds of trouble. 42 for 3.
Captain comes in now, and a captain's innings needed by the West Indies. He joins Shivnarayan Chandapol, 2 of the more experienced batsmen in the West Indies side. And all of a sudden, that target for the West Indies looks a long way away. 242 they need. New Zealand 241 for 7 from their 50.
Just having a look at this wicket. You know, we've had a man caught flashing at a wide ball at the slips, run out, and then this. And it's all within a few deliveries. 3 wickets, you have to say, that have been given away. Starrist as well, it's hit hard, but you have to say, unnecessary dismissals. All 3 of them.
Now what it needs here is consolidation. Very similar in the New Zealand innings. They lost 4 wickets. Fleming, Vittori, Styrus. 3 rather quick wickets between the 9th and the 15th over. Now, did he get his hands under it? Did it take the edge? We'll wait for umpire. Here's call, and it was an edge. And the keeper did seem to get the gloves under it. It was very low.
Well, it's certainly inside edge. Now, does it carry? It's a big inside edge, big deflection. No, it's not carried. It's just short. Cullen, the wicket-keeper, fairness to him. But it could have been, it would have been a blow. Just fell short.
Down there, he's gone straight into the hand of long leg. Carl Hooper, another soft wicket for the West Indies. Straight to Bond, 46 for 4. And New Zealand have the West Indies under their heel now.
Well, you summed it up, Tony. Another soft dismissal. He's just helped it. The West Indian captor has helped it straight to Shane Bond. He did not have to move. Andre Adams cannot believe how easy this is proving. Carl Hooper's gone for 3. It's 46 for 4.
Now, Ramnaresh Shawan. Things a little bit different than they were the other night when he came into bat. West Indies have recovered. He and Ricardo Paul, who will follow him in this order, smashed it all over the place at Cape Town, Newlands ground. He took 32 not out of the last 15 deliveries he faced, but situation entirely different here now. Requires a completely different approach from Sarwan. Chandapol, very much his mentor. They both come from Guyana. Comes down to have a word with him. Characteristic red bandana. The knot just sticking out behind his head, and a big job now for Sarwan. 3 wickets to Alex Adams. Correction, Andre Adams. Confusing him with an Adams we have in the Caribbean who plays for the Leewards, Alex.
Well, I don't think he'll mind whether you call him Andre or Alex. You just say, have a look at the wickets. Andre Adams did not have to move Shane Bond. Straight down his throat. Just helped. No, did not move.
This is Jacob Oram. How close is this? Yeah, very close. Rudy Kurtzen says that's pitched in line and it's going on to hit, and the West Indies all of a sudden are 46 for 5.
Good delivery. Shivnarine Chanderpaul, he falls over, particularly early in his innings. This is another example of exactly that. All that umpire Kurtzen had to look for was whether it pitched in line, and it did. No doubt about that.
So Chanderpaul goes for 2. It's 46 for 5. Here comes Ricardo Powell. The West Indies are 46 for 5. They couldn't be in much more trouble. When you consider after 9.1 overs, Kepler, they were none for 34. They've lost 5 for 12.
So it's a wicket of Shivnarine Chanderpaul. He fell over badly. Hit him just above the knee roll. Pitched in line. No doubt about that. The 5th wicket going down. Just 14 overs being bowled now, and 46 for 5 puts New Zealand in bounce seats.
Just over the head of Nathan Astor, just to the right, and it races away for 4. They won't mind that, the New Zealanders. 50 up for the West Indies, but if Ricardo's in this kind of mood, then anything could happen.
He's going to continue to play his natural game, but after this over, the first 15 overs are complete, and then Stephen Fleming would be able to stick out a few posters or two, create some more pressure. Change of bowling now. Chris Cairns, he hasn't bowled for a long time, so it's his first outing in the middle. He's been injured. He's played the first match of the tournament against Sri Lanka, but only as a batsman. Batted well today.
Not a great welcome back. No ball and thump for 4.
Number 8, go lads!
Just wonder, Ian, I would have been tempted to get Daniel Vittori on at this stage, just to really create as much pressure as you can, get them as far behind the rate as possible.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. He's going to put point back because we're now outside the 15 overs, so give him protection to settle. And that's wide as well, too wide. So rocky old start for Chris Cairns. Hasn't bowled for around 11.5 months in a one-day international. And working overtime in the nets, had knee surgery, and when he started to bowl, after the knee surgery had come right, he pulled the rib cartilages. And that's thump for 4 more. You're right, I don't think this is a forever spell at this rate.
That's a struggle. Some concern there for Stephen Fleming. The last thing he wants now is to give away boundaries and have the West Indians establish a partnership. I reckon Vittori's the man. He comes on now, bowls 7 or 8 tight overs, put the rate right up.
That's his best weapon, I think, on this pitch. A slower delivery, a fuller, slower delivery.
He's got a pretty good one too. Rolls his fingers across the ball. Bounces and turns.
Go on again. Vincent, sharp was attack, but not that sharp. This is a good over for the West Indies. And Stephen Fleming is starting to adjust things pretty quickly.
Chris Harris can bowl as well. He'll also be effective on this wicket. Not too sure that he really needs to bowl Chris Cairns at this point.
Yeah.
Still 2 deliveries to come. 4, no ball, wide. And 2 4s and a single. A slower ball, but it's gone way back into the stand. A massive over for the West Indies. Powell right out of the screws. 16 gone, 71 for 5. Let's just look at the splits here. New Zealand 93 for 3 at the 20 over mark, and the West Indies 80 for 5. This is the partnership. This is a key. They need to be together, these two, for another hour or so. At least another hour. Bowled him straight through. It was quite a loose shot from Ricardo Powell. And the New Zealanders must back themselves now big time. Oram has struck again.
Good delivery, just nipping back off the seam, through the gate. Ricardo Powell trying to hit across the line. Left a huge gate and went straight through. In a very good area, hitting the middle stump. Very good piece of bowling, and he's happy, and why not?
So Powell goes for 14. It's now 80 for 6. Ridley Jacobs, the keeper batsman for the West Indies, they're 80 for 6. And if he casts his mind back to 1999 in Southampton, Ridley Jacobs opened the batting for the West Indies. That's where he scored his 80 not out, and the West Indies went on to beat Australia. Beat New Zealand, and so he'll have fond memories of that. He really will. Ricardo Powell won't want to remember this though.
Ball comes back in off the seam, but plays across it, off the pad onto the stumps. Jacobs is a gutsy character. He'll fight pretty hard out there.
Come on, lads!
Good delivery, extra bounce. He's a tall man, comes right over the top, exploits the surface very well. Just another look at that wicket. Off cutter onto the pad and top of off stump.
That's not a bad reply, is it? Okay, you have me ducking and diving the ball before. Go and fetch that one. Straight down the ground. Good shot. Brings 100 up. And what a fine shot to do it.
I think Ridley Jacobs heard me. I think he's trying to convince everyone, listen, this is not over yet. This is a very good shot. Straight down the ground. No swipe towards the mid-wicket region. No big hike. Just a nice flow of the bat through the line of the ball.
Comparison there, very much in New Zealand's favour. That's beautifully struck. That's a magnificent cricket shot from Sawan. A rare boundary and perfectly played.
One of the few loose deliveries that Jacob Oram has bowled on this occasion. It was too full and it was too wide, and Sawan played it superbly. Copybook cover drive, found the gap through extra cover. And that is a welcome boundary for the West Indies.
Youngest first-class player ever in the West Indies, came into the Guyana side at the age of 15. Would have been 17, I think, when he came here. That's his 50. Hurried for one and should get the second. Adams is onto it and will. Very well compiled half-century in difficult circumstances by Sawan. Raises the West Indies to 133 for 6.
Excellent innings. Patience and control. 51 coming off 71 balls.
One big over, that 21 over of Chris Cairns, that one in the middle there.
Slow delivery, slower than the normal one. Rolling the fingers across it. It's pretty hard to get away, Nathan Astle. Can't just hit him on the up. On this surface, it's slow, it's holding up, and coming onto the bat.
Well, that's gone. So he'll get 4 for that. That's very welcome. So that brings 6 off the over with the boundary. In the end, played it with one hand.
It's pretty well played. It was full and wide. And all his fingers across it again, so it stopped a little bit, but Ridley Jacobs followed through with that right hand. He struck it pretty well.
And that won't help either. 4 more. They'll take him how they can get him, the West Indies.
Another one of those shots that it's pretty difficult to set a field for. Ridley Jacobs looking to hike it onto the onside, but just hitting the top edge, right over the wicket-keeper's head. No fielders down there. That's one of the boundaries that the West Indies need. Have to get the occasional boundary along with the singles.
That area there, I think they've got it covered, but they haven't. That's a wonderful shot. Far enough in front of point and beautifully timed. That's the biggest boundary.
The more I see this man bat, the more convinced I am about his ability. This was a fantastic shot. Smithy was just talking about that area being covered. Well, try and cover that. That's through the extra cover region in front of square. He knew exactly where the fielders were. He knew where he had to hit it.
Through for 4. That breaks the shackles. Adams is furious. And the West Indies can breathe a sigh of relief. 168 for 6. That's the shot you're talking about. That's a wonderful blow. Straight as a die. Terrific shot.
That's the direction. That's the direction that Jacobs should be thinking about as well. This is a beautiful shot. Slow delivery, but he picked it. Ramnarasawan. Straight down the ground.
It's gone a little bit squarer, Andre Adams, so just the one, but Jacobs now has the opportunity to, with the spin.
Boundaries on the onside to Ridley Jacobs, him being a left-hander, are a bit deeper than the boundaries on the offside though. A bit further to carry over there. Has to be careful, has to pick his gap or go all the way, all over that rope.
He's going to roll left arm over and pitch it outside off stump and say fetch it, which he tries. He'll get a run, will he? Yes, he will. Vettori quite athletic. It just personifies the way New Zealand have thrown themselves around in the park this afternoon.
Not too sure that Ridley Jacobs was a long way in on this occasion. Certainly looking to hit towards the mid-wicket region. Wasn't until the latter stages that he really started to motor to get in.
Bolden hitting round the ball. Vettori has done a brilliant job here. His selection in the side has been merited with that piece of action.
Certainly has been. That is the big wicket. That is the wicket that New Zealand wanted and needed. Ramnarasawan has batted so well. The team was in desperate trouble and he has played a magnificent innings, but this is how it has ended. Looking to hit across the line of the ball. Didn't get to the pitch, used his feet, tried to get to the pitch, didn't quite get there, then hit across the line and missed. End of a very good knock though. It's 178 for 7.
Well, that's Bert Drakes did a good job with the ball for the West Indies, but that's a long time ago now. His job is with the bat to support Ridley Jacobs.
This is the dismissal of Ramnarasawan. Big wicket this. Just drifting in with the arm, no turn there. He didn't mean it to turn, Daniel Vettori.
Slogged away. And there's the fielder on the boundary once more. They've cut off almost everything on the ropes, and look at that return. They've been outstanding today. Sinclair, they substitute.
again, pretty much a thick inside edge, but they really have covered the ground well, the Kiwis. You have to give them credit where it's due, and they've been magnificent in the fielding. Really have looked electric out there. Everyone backing each other up.
Now that's gone. He's got that for 6. They want a few more of those, but that's certainly just given the West Indies a little injection of hope there. Seems to have struck someone in the crowd. Down towards third man and takes a good catch. Very good catch indeed. Oram, who's had such a fine day with the ball and in the field, coming in from third man, the ball dropping on him and diving forward to take a fine catch, and Jacobs' fighting half century has ended. Has the West Indies hopes of winning the game ended with that?
This is a fine catch, Tony. He's gone for it, the big one. He's gone for that mid-side boundary, flies off the outside edge. Now it swings away from him. Oram, how good is that? You can see why he was New Zealand soccer goalkeeper at the M19 level. That was magnificent. Chris Cairns the first to jump on him, quite rightly. Ridley Jacobs, magnificent little cameo comes to an end. He's gone for 50. It's 191 for 8.
So McLean comes in now, and if he can repeat what he did here in the Test match 4 years ago, West Indies will win this match. He hit 4 sixes in that Test 4 years ago. One of them, certainly one of the biggest sixes I've ever seen. But these are completely different circumstances now. He's had a difficult day. Nixon McLean with the ball. Hasn't been all that good in the field either. His first match of the tournament. Here he is now to face Vittori. Just a deflection off the pad down the leg side.
Worth having another look at this catch. As you said quite rightly off the air there, not only did he have to find the ball, it dipped on him and then he adjusted. Well, he's going to get a chance for another catch. I just don't think he's picked that up at all. He didn't move at all then, so he's actually standing in the shadow. So he's got the sunshine and the shadow. This time here he managed to get out of the shadow, but that is a magnificent effort. Really magnificent catch.
So only 3 overs remain now. The West Indies still require another 42 off them. 200 for 8. There's the position of the match. 3 overs remain. West Indies require another 42. Just 2 wickets standing. Vittori has come off. Obligatory removal. 10 overs, 1 for 38. Adams has 2 more overs to go. 3 for 36. What a match Adams has had, and then a quick fire 35 at the end of the New Zealand innings. That's a very stupid run out. That's all over. Nixon McLean committing himself past the point of no return. Adams follows through, picks the ball up. McLean doesn't even worry to try and get back in, and that's just about it.
Well, sad dismissal, but alertness from Andre Adams. He doesn't throw the ball. That's a little bit inside edge on there. He comes for it, and then he realises there's no need to throw it. I can outrun you. He does, keeps a cool head. And New Zealand have looked exceptional in the field. The game all but won now. Nixon McLean's gone for 5. It's 200 for 9.
Vaspert Drake swings down to deep mid wicket for a couple, but you'd have to say now that the West Indies all hope is just about gone. Last player in, 40 more required from 16 deliveries. Merv Dillon comes in. Vaspert Drake's just not finding the middle of the bat at all, and just involved in a a rather embarrassing run out with Nixon McLean. Here's Adams. It's a good take. Will we have another run out? All over the place. But Drakes, who is a reasonable batsman, but certainly nothing happening for him here. Here's that run out of McLean again, who finishes off what has been a rather embarrassing day from him with further embarrassment. Adams just picking the ball up, smiling as he takes the bails off. Flicked away on the onside. No real timing from Drakes at all.
One little concern there'll be for the New Zealand side, Tony, is the fact that the reason Nathan Astle left was a bit of a groin strain. Well, they've got a big game coming up at the weekend. They'll need him. Probably the reason they whipped him off the ground.
In the air, could this be the end of it? Not quite. Just a chip from Dillon. But things just getting beyond the West Indies now. There'll be 2 overs after this to go. 13 balls in all. 38 required from the last pair. So that ends the over. 2 remain. West Indies require 241. It's 205 for 9. Lovely, bright, sunny afternoon here in Port Elizabeth. But it's gloomy as far as the West Indies are concerned at the moment. The sun shining on New Zealand. Here's Bond to Drakes. Oh, we'll hope for 4, down towards third man off the edge. Need about 10 more of those very quickly.
It's a tail-ender shot. Swing and a heave to the outside edge, and frustration for the bowler. Nothing that the fielding side could do. It goes, once it goes this fine, not a bad delivery, straight and full. It's impressed me, Shane Bond.
See a lot of him next season for Warwickshire in England. Flicked away. Fielder is out there, comes in and takes the catch, or does he? Just dropping short. Desperate effort. They've gone for 2. Andre Adams acknowledging that he hadn't taken it.
Just in front of him. Wouldn't be pleasant though with that sun. He'd be looking straight into the sun there with that catch.
And still he gathers it. Not to say it bounced over his shoulder and went behind him before. He gathers it cleanly. Amazing. And just 1.
Watch it. There goes. Next time move.
Still the West Indies on the verge of a loss here unless something quite extraordinary happens. They never looked as if they would bat out the 50 overs when those 5 wickets fell for 13 at the beginning. Thanks to that partnership between Sarwan and Ridley Jacobs at 97, they've got there. 2. Drakes is called for 2. Come back for it. Baturi on his haunches.
Two balls left in this over. Good over, 9 runs from it. They're going down fighting.
Just aborting his run there. I'm sure I saw wicketkeeper McCallum just signal to Bond make the bouncer signal. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Bond may have just thought about it running in. A little bit of mental confusion and aborting his run.
Can be a problem for quick bowlers, that. Mental confusion.
Over the top of extra cover. Didn't quite get hold of it. Come back for a second. You're doing commentary with Michael Holding later on, are you?
Well, I'm sure he'll take me up on it. Didn't say all. Didn't say all fast bowlers. Certainly some.
Okay. I said nothing of the sort. Last ball of Bond's spell here. Down towards third man. There's a man out there. He'll make the save. They'll come back for a second. But it leaves the West Indies with the last over to get 24. And the last pair together. .218 for 9. 24 of the last 6 deliveries. Alex Adams, correction again, Andre Adams, I'm getting his name wrong for the entire day. Apologies to him. Here he is. Had a really good day. Beautifully flicked away, but just the single. They're finding boundary fielders, the West Indies, and when they don't find them, the boundary fielders get to the ball more often than not. 23 off 5 deliveries. They need a couple of sixes somewhere along the way. Fours won't do it. Now does that just about do it? 4 deliveries, 22. They really need 3 sixes or 4. Need perhaps New Zealanders won't help them with extras. No balls and wides, you wouldn't think. And that's about it. It's all over now, I think. 3 balls remain. The West Indies need 21. South Africa will well remember their first World Cup when the board went up. 21 needed off 1 ball. The West Indies just need 21 off 3, and that's beyond them.
I was the bowler on that occasion. It's Sydney Creogram. Brian McMillan was the batsman.
All over. And Adams appropriately finishes the match with his 4th wicket. New Zealand have scored a victory, which is absolutely essential for their progress in this competition. Beaten by Sri Lanka in the opening match. A very efficient performance indeed, especially in the field. And this is how it ended. Andre Adams finishing things off with his 4th wicket. And surely the man of the match.
He deserves it. He's done well. He got the early wickets, he got a flurry of runs at the end, had a chance and took it, and now finishes off the innings with 4 for 44. Disappointed when Dylan leaves the ground. The New Zealanders delighted. They're back in the competition, winning this game by 20 runs. Captain Stephen Fleming said his team he felt could come bouncing back from their disappointing performance against Sri Lanka. Well, he had the right idea and the team followed up on it. They came out to prove a point, and they did. Applauding their supporters. Quite a few of them gathered in that far corner. And they'll be up now. Win under their belt, good win. Take that into the next game. On Sunday in Johannesburg and in South Africa.
So there is the result, just a summary of the match. New Zealand 241 for 7, did well to get there, struggled in the early part of the innings, but that partnership in the end by McCallum, the young keeper playing in his first match in the World Cup, coming in to keep today, and at the end of the order, he and Andre Adams, the man of the match, putting on 53 in quick time. McCallum 36 and Adams 35. Astle and Cairns repaired the early damage. Wavell Hines, the medium pacer, the surprise for the West Indies. 3 for 35, bowled really well, bowled his 10 overs all the way through. First time he's ever done that in one-day internationals, to bowl as many as 10 overs. And the West Indies, with their strong batting, would have thought that they had an opportunity to get that and to put New Zealand out of the tournament and to ensure that they move through to the next stage. But they struggled. They lost 3 wickets. 5 wickets for 13 runs in the space of 13 balls, and never recovered after that. Ramnaresh Sharwan and Ridley Jacobs added 97, but it wasn't enough. Tomorrow, Sri Lanka play Bangladesh, another match in Pool B for New Zealand. Their big match is on Sunday at the Wanderers in Johannesburg. For the West Indies, their next match is against Canada. So that's the position then, 241 for 7. New Zealand beating the West Indies 221 all out by 20 runs. We say good evening from a sunlit Port Elizabeth.